We're in. That's interesting. Testing 1, 2, 3. See if we have some sound. Hello, hello, hello. Why don't I hear myself? Are you able to hear me? Mm, seems to be some issues with the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sound is great. Okay, interesting. Because I'm not hearing anything on my end, but that might be something on this end. Let me check. Okay, interesting. Because I'm not hearing anything on my end. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's working. So welcome, guys. So welcome to the show. Somehow I don't have any sound on my iPad, which is kind of interesting. Why that is? Now that is not a big problem, but I'm not sure why that is not the case. So let me try to get that organized over here as well, because you want to have some kind of confidence as well, right? So, but in the meantime, let me put some music on. Let's do it over here. That's it like this, and there you go. Let me see if it works. Go. All right, that sounds good. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the first show in a few weeks. So I am very. It's great to see you guys all. Yeah, we have sound. Guys, welcome to the show. We have sound here as well. Finally. All right, so then I can see you guys. Welcome to the show. I've been not around for a few weeks. We will be discussing that during the show, why that is the case, and what we're going to do in the future. And maybe you already see it. I'm not sitting in the famous red chair. I'm sitting actually in a blue chair. Maybe you can see it over here. Yep, a blue chair. Because I have now a desk. And that helps me because I actually can now produce the show a little bit more better, because now I can see myself over here, what's going on. I can see your comments. I see, for instance, Scott in there. Welcome from Atlanta, Georgia. Great to see you, Scott. I saw Jaya in, I saw Renee in, so it's almost a full house, so that is great. In 1.5 minutes, we will be discussing, the show and what we're going to do with the show. Now, just to let you know, we're just going to continue with the show, but we're going to do it differently, and I need your help with that. So that is something that I'm looking forward to. So shall I give you a sneak peek for people that are just joining? I'm did some changes. So I still have this over here. I still have the lamp over here, but I have a little bit more going on today. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to share with you again. So I'm going back to this main shot because, hey, it has to be a secret, right? It's our secret. Let's see who's joining. Jaya says she hears me fine. I know somehow the iPad in the show didn't work, and I lost a little bit of a confidence about it. But it did work on my iPhone, so I know it was the iPad, so it's fine. No worries there. In about 20 seconds, we will be talking. We will start the show. And I'm sorry to say I have to abruptly end this the song, so let's do that. All right, because in 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Petra's Music Condo, We have been going live every Sunday. Well, not really every Sunday for the last few weeks. And that is exactly why we have this show today. And we're not going to talk about music, what we typically always do. We talk about music, we like music, we love music, we breathe music, we enjoy music, whatever. It's really a vital part of our life. And for now, I wanted to really step a little bit back and to have an overview on what we did the last 7 months already, to discuss what we're going to do to make this an even better stream in the future. So I see people have joined. So let me tell who has joined. I see Scott, I see Jaya, I see Renee. Welcome everyone. It's great to see you. I know my mom will also be joining us in a few minutes, but unfortunately she had a eye surgery last Friday, so she won't be able really to look at the show at this moment because it hurts her eyes at this moment. But she's doing well, so she will be there next week or the week after, as soon as she is able to. But the fun part is that my mom is now looking really as one of the Blues Brothers, like a very like a sunglasses on. She's really cool. That I have to admit. So looking at something else, you might have seen that I have actually a desk in front of me nowadays. That has also been a change that I recently done. I wanted to show it to you because I'm really happy with this result. And boom, there you have it. A new setup. We have a desk. Why? Because I want to really talk to you and try to have more of a conversation with you, and that doesn't work if I have to go here to look at a screen, or to there, or maybe to do some other stuff. So I had to have these screens over here. So I've got one screen over here, which is the laptop. I've got one screen over there, which is the iPad, which is now currently looking at the broadcast in delay, because this is exactly what you're also seeing. And here off camera, I have a screen with the live stream software that I use to make this all possible. But this is not only the things that is possible, because it's not only technical, it's also my roommates that you will see right down here below. These guys and gals are really helping me to make this show possible, with a small, a small piece of money, which really helps me, because quite frankly, it does cost money. So I want to do this for free, to be honest, but this is simply not really possible. But hey, that is the way that it works. Did you see how that works? I just did click and boom, I'm here. So this is much easier than it was before. But before I start to talk about the show in general, etc., and let's start the show. And indeed, we will start the show with let's go back 7 months and see what we did back then. So I started, let's say, in the summer, like in May, June, like a year ago, with Geeks University back then, now Live Streaming Pros, where I learned how to produce these kinds of shows, how to set up the lights, how to make a nice backdrop. This is actually real, so I can actually touch it. I can touch this, I can do this. So it's all real. There's no green screen going on, but this is really who I am. And this is something that I had it was for me very difficult, to be on camera, because I didn't really understand that it doesn't really matter who you are as long as you are yourself. And this is exactly what the problem was. Whoa, sorry for that. Whoops. This is Sorry, my fault. All right. Let me make sure that this is working correctly. So, sorry for that. So now going back to so I've learned this, and I thought, well, I have a company. I want to do more with streaming, and I don't really have a very good idea on what to stream every week. And so I thought about it at myself and said, well, I like music. I've been doing all kinds of radio shows for 23, 24 years, and I don't care about a microphone in front of me, but I do care about the camera. That was the thing that we did back in August. Lida live stream every day in August, where the first 2, 3 times I was like so nervous that I had to go to the toilet like 20 times before I could actually do this. Why? I don't know, because it is a camera, and a camera does have it's a little bit different because I'm just looking at a piece of glass, and I know you are there. So that is something that I really look, what I like is actually you guys here so that I can talk to you. So I see that Renee is saying, great desk, love the lighting. Thank you, Renee. So I will tell you about how this is how this is built, because this is actually a very easy build and it's really cool. And Jaya says yes, much better. Okay, so all right, so let's go back. So I decided to go with music. I love music, and when I started, I was like, okay, so I will ask for bands to come in and do some acoustic sessions, etc. And yes, granted, I did have 1 or 2 people that were very interested of coming, but the problem was that in order to do this, I am all by myself at this moment during the show. But to do that, I'd need like 4 or 5 people to make that happen and to make this perfect. So that was the first problem that I got. So that is also the reason why you didn't see a Condo concert. I'm still trying to get them. So, but it's probably gonna be something like on set and on location, and not here in the studio, because the studio by itself is not that big. It might seem very, very huge, but I have to admit it's not that big at all. Now, so that was the first thing. The second thing is that I was in the impression that I maybe have some interviews here and have let people come in here. I tried to do some interviews, but that didn't work out because of some software glitches, etc. But these are all ironed out now. So now it is technically possible. What wasn't possible, let's say November, December of last year. Now, looking at what happened in the last few months is that, especially the last, let's say February, March timeframe, I actually started to do all kinds of specials. And what I did was a lot of reading of a teleprompter. Now, if something is that I've learned the last few months is that having a teleprompter is not my way of doing things. I'm doing this all on top of my head, and I love talking to you as I am right now, as I'm myself. So that is something that I'm very, what I like to do, and that's also one of the things that I want to change, is to have no teleprompter and just talk about music and talk about to other people as well. Now, I can talk about a lot of things for like 15 minutes or something, but what really helps is if I am not alone. So I could actually have someone who is, being here as an interviewee, so that I can talk to that person and have a little bit more of an interaction, especially if that person has a little bit slightly different taste to music than I have, so that you have some really great discussions. So that is something that I'm wanting to discuss with you. Is it possible, or are you willing to, be a guest on the show? Be a guest and so that we can talk to each other. So that would be the first question to you. Would you like to be a guest of the show? And what does it look like? Well, something like this, for instance. So now you can see how it looks like if we are side by side. So you got the music condo. Let me remove this just for a brief moment. So now you can see it. So you got the Petra's music condo, and on the other side we have your name and your webcam or whatever you use for it. So that is the way that I would like to do this and have some discussions and, go to your camera, go to my camera and have a great discussion. That was one thing that I wanted to talk to you about. But the other thing that might be interesting is not only to have like an interaction, like an interview, because an interview is not only with my roommates but also with artists, etc., which I will try to get organized as soon as possible. But I also want to have people that are co-hosting with me. Why that? Because together you have much more interaction going. So I'm really interested in what you guys think about it if I would do this. So let me think. That's very impressive. Okay, I'm not sure what is very impressive, Jaya, but thank you. Please mark down what you think is impressive, because I don't know the what I was saying at that time. So another thing is that there will be some other changes as well. Is that now it's on Sunday, and we used to be on Saturday, and I thought last few weeks that on Sunday it doesn't work. And that is a little bit strange, because I thought it would be working, because, hey, it's Sunday and I have the whole day for, working on this, so, but that, which is good. However, the problem with Sunday evening is that it's the last evening before going to work. That's the first thing. So I have a day-to-day job. I really like that day-to-day job, but yeah, it is there. And second to that is that the Saturday seems to be more of an interaction going. So if I look at the last 2 months, it didn't really, it didn't really resonate with the roommates. So I decided to go back starting next week to the Saturday, and I hope that you guys are there as well. Same time, but one day earlier in the weekend. I think it's better, and also for myself. Even though the time for preparations on the Saturday is very limited, I can do the preparations earlier on. Yes, and the Sunday is sorry. And the Sunday is more, available for doing other stuff, like something that I'm also working on, which I will be talking to you about in a few seconds. Let me get some drink. So that is something that I like to talk to you about. I see that Jaya has. Would the co-host be the same room or in another window as a guest? Good question, Jaya. So the co-host doesn't have to be here. I am not in the States. I am here in the Netherlands, in Europe. It would not be fair for people that are coming from Canada, from the US, from England to come over here and sit next to me. No, it's gonna be like I said, like I showed you. So you have a side-by-side shot like this. And obviously, we will also be able to go full shot to those people. So it's really the same way as if you have an interview, the person that is really talking will be in the picture. So that is the way that I envision that. So yes, I will be the standard host for every week, but it's really great to have like a rotating co-host. That would be something that I would really appreciate. I would really like. So that is something that I was thinking of. It would be fun to be a co-host, Jaya. I will contact you. That's great. Okay. So first one is in. Okay, that's great. Let's discuss offline, and that will be great. Um, so that's going to be on a Saturday. That's what I just mentioned. And there's other stuff going on as well, and that is something with the studio. So the studio is roughly, let's say, from here to there. So if I stretch my hands fully, I'm almost at the end of the studio. But if I would do the same like this, I will also be almost at the end of the studio. But the problem is that the studio is exactly in my living room. You don't see it, but it is there. So if I go to this shot, right after behind that curtain over there with the guitar, there is a chair. Sorry, I have to look there. So right there, there is the guitar, and right behind that black curtain, there is the sitting area. Right behind it, there's nothing in between. So that's very. And this, if I do like this, I don't know if you heard that, but I don't hear myself. Ah, there you go. Hello, you. Something. Ah, there you go. So this is my eating desk. So I can actually, just touch it. It's very, very close and very near. That way, it's a little bit further, but that's more or less because of this camera. This camera actually has to be further away to make this picture, and that is something that unfortunately is not longer possible, because this camera is one that I got from my father, and my father has to, he wants to go to do some vacation, etc., and he wants to have his camera, which is perfectly good. So what I wanted to do is to change these cameras and use. Oops. That broke. There you go. Live, ain't you just love it? So let me get that first. There you go. Sorry for that. I'm back. Give me. So yes, I'm back. So what I wanted to do was that I wanted to use a small camera, which is this one over here, and that one over there. That will be my main camera in the future. And the beauty of these cameras is that they can actually be closer to the host. So that is roughly half a meter less. And half a meter in a living room is quite a lot, because that is roughly this size. So like right here. So I can actually walk in that space, which is much better. Let me see if would be great of you to do a behind the scenes of the studio. I can do one now if you want, Renee, but bear with me. The studio will get the other cameras, but I am totally fine with this. This is a free format show, so I will do that. I will do that as soon as you want. Scott says, I want a Mevo. That was indeed the Mevo camera. I didn't say that, but indeed that's a Mevo camera. I think René says, I think to get one too when I start live streaming about my projects. That would be awesome, René. You really need to do that. And hopefully you can do that in English, because otherwise it's going to be only to German. I can understand that perfectly, but looking at all the others out there, I hope you're going to do that in English. That would be awesome. And Jaya says, is that a Mevo? Definitely, that is a Mevo. So if it's okay with you, I'll do something right now, which I didn't test before, Well, I did test it before, but not now. And I will do a quick behind the scenes tour. So I am using my phone for this. And there is a new, that one, a new application. And now I need to do some changes over here. So let me do that quickly to get that in. That one, yep. Okay, so it's in, and I'll go live. Boom. All right. Okay, so I'll go to that to this camera. So let me show you around. So I will start with that will be this. Boom. All right. So this is behind the scenes. So I have a iPad over here, which has the program on there, a live stream keyboard, so that I can actually switch. So if I switch this, I can actually do that. This is my computer, so I'll switch between. So I'll press cut, boom, and back. So that is the way that works. I have some drinks over here, and I have to now go without sound because this is the sound. It's just a Sony PlayStation, how do you call it, headphone, a mouse, a rat mouse, and this is the streaming software that I use so that I can go live to several locations. This is something that is kind of interesting. I'm sorry if my sound is not as good as it used to be, but that is because this one was pointing to me. But this is kind of an interesting one because why is it there? That is because I will also do some reviews on products. And in order to do that, I need to have something to hold the camera up. So I have this contraption. And I can actually put a Mevo right there, and then I can look over like there to the table so that I can do a review. So that is there. Now this is the camera of my father. So this is a Blackmagic pocket camera. No, it's a Blackmagic 4K production camera. This is my lens, by the way. And a teleprompter which holds the iPad, which I will not be using anymore. And this is some acoustic foam to get less of a sound. And here you have a audio device, and this is the second camera that you just saw. So this is really the studio, and okay, this is the light just to give it a little bit more of a oomph, and that's it. So that this is then. Looking upstairs, this is the bar and a headlight, and that is about it. So that is about it. So let's go back to the main shot. So there you go. I hope that was something that you liked, and let's see if we have some discussions going on. Let me see what we have. Sorry, I had to go out of Facebook, of course, but I am back. Everything's fine. So let me see. Renee says, yeah, it's going to be an English streaming show. Great. Okay, it seems that you guys really like that. That is awesome. All right. So that is those are the things. So if you're interested of becoming an interview co-host, please let me know in the comments. I will get in touch with you personally to discuss when you can do it. Let's have just one or two times to see if this is working. And if you want to be interviewed, that would be also cool, because I know that Scott would like to be part of an interview, and I will definitely reach out to him because he knows exactly what kind of music is the best music around if it comes to backpacking, for instance. So that is all that I wanted to talk to you about. Well, not exactly, because the Saturdays does have a. I think that the good English word is a caveat or a problem, or has some disadvantages, and that is that with the if I go to the Saturday, most streaming events are on Saturday. And streaming events is exactly what my company does. So now this is not going to be every week and it's not going to be every month, but let's just say that maybe once a month that I will run into some issues during the summer months. But that's not necessarily always the case. So I know, for instance, that the 20th of May, which is 3 weeks from now, that will be a event that I have to do because it's paid. And after that, I have a week off. So what will happen is that in May I only have 2 episodes of Petra's Music Condo. Then I will be gone for 2 weeks, but then I will be back for June, the full June, and after that we'll see, because that is just the problem with the Saturday. But I think it's better, and I believe me, I will try to do this every week. But I have to also admit that having a week off does help me quite a lot at this moment. I haven't had a holiday since Christmas. So okay, that being said, so next week will be, for me, from my perspective, the first new style. I still have to do some testing around, so maybe if you're willing to help me test, that would be awesome. Please put it into the comments, because I need to test the interviewing system, which is the same one that will bring you in as a co-host. And that is the most important one, to be very honest. So yeah, that would be great to see what you think. Hey, my mom is in. My mom is in the house, so that is great. Like I said earlier on, she is one of the Blues Brothers because she has some eyesight problems. But thanks for making it, Mom. That's very much appreciated. Let me see. Of course, test anytime. Just let me know. Cool, Jaya. That would be awesome. Actually, we can do that right after the show. So if you want, the show will, I'm almost done. So if you have time, we can do that after the show. Please let me know. And Renee, I will also want to talk to you indeed. So I will reach out to you both in a private message to see what we can do. That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being so awesome as roommates. I really, really appreciate the community feel to it. And I hope that we can bring this to another level. Anyways, that was it for today. And I hope that I will see you next time. See you around. Bye.